Hello, fellow readers. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. 4 Seconds by Peter Bregman. All the time you need to stop counterproductive habits and get the results you want. Good book. I recommend reading it. I will read a few passages here, a few paragraphs. There's some really good things in here. I really like this book. Okay, let's go to page 34. In some situations, doing nothing forever is the right response. With my tendinitis, doing nothing helped. Sometimes not trying to fix something is precisely what's needed to fix it. It's a hard strategy to follow because we have a penchant for being proactive. If there's a problem, we feel better when we attack it aggressively. But consider the idea we might spend a lot of time, effort, and money solving problems that can't, in fact, be solved with time, effort, and money. Something to be said about that. To paraphrase Cool Hand Luke, sometimes doing nothing's a pretty cool thing to do. I like that one a lot. On page 35. So how do we know whether to do something or nothing? When many cures are offered for a disease, wrote Anton Chekhov, it means the disease is not curable. If past experience or data suggest that multiple solutions are possible, but none are reliably successful, nothing may be the best strategy. Also, if you've tried 2 or 3 solutions and none of them have worked, perhaps it's time to try nothing. Basically says common sense, observation, analysis, conclusion. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. Okay, let's see. I've marked page 105. And this is a short one. This includes accepting the fact that there are some situations I can't resolve with more communication. I'm sure you've probably been in a discussion or argument or debate, conflict with somebody, and you just keep talking about, and nothing ever gets done. Nothing. It doesn't resolve. Not through communication. I guess that's when you need to apply high explosives. Okay, moving on, page 125. Be open. In order to receive a pass in any sport and at work and in life, you need to be free, open, and unguarded. Yet we often guard ourselves. Powerful feelings like fear, anger, sadness, and insecurity do their best to block our ability to receive a pass. If you want to be a talented receiver, your task is to feel your feelings without letting them block or control you or your response. Breathe. Acknowledge what you're feeling to yourself, maybe even to the other person, without dwelling on it. Reiterate what you're hearing. Ask questions. Be curious. Not curious in an I will find out enough information so I can prove you wrong way, but curious to understand what the person is saying and what's underneath what they're saying. So a lot of times people just pay attention to the words, but sometimes you have to look at what's not being said, what's being left out, and you have to look at what's driving them to say that, the feelings, their thoughts, their beliefs, like I said, what's underneath it. Because if you remember, if you've been watching my videos, I took a class and it said that all behavior is an attempt to fulfill a need. And that it's so simple, yet so many people just miss it. Okay, now here's one for my fellow preppers. We're going to look at page 194 here. Let's see. At least I thought I had marked something on 194. Or maybe it was the whole chapter. I might have to do that as a separate video. But basically what the guy talked about was that the government sets up all these different systems and plans. But when you are actually in the middle of a disaster, you got to do what works right there in the disaster. Because just following the plan might not be effective. And that's just so true with just so many government policies and procedures. You know, people just stick to it even though anybody with, 2 active brain cells on, communicating with each other would know not to do it. I mean, it's akin to if your GPS says turn right, and turning right's going to send you over a cliff, do you still turn right? I mean, no, you got to be in the moment and use some brain cells. Okay, page 236. This one was for some traders. But once again, oh no, here we go. I did mark it. And this is really key. For something to be a great success, it doesn't have to last forever. The challenge, not thinking of any solution as a cure-all in the first place. When we think of something as a panacea, we ignore its weaknesses and negative side effects, and eventually, when the inevitable flaws are exposed, we lose faith in the solution completely. We discount any value it provided because it never lived up to our expectations. It never fully worked. And then we go off in search of the next magic bullet. I mean, traders, if you're listening, maybe I'll even have to do a separate video on that. I mean, that's what happens. Somebody comes up with a system and you start doing it, and maybe you get a couple of winning trades, and then maybe you hit a rough patch and a few losing trades. You throw your hands up, you scrap the system, and you go looking for that next holy grail. I mean, people do that in life too, not just in trading. So I think you'll really enjoy this book, 4 Seconds by Peter Bregman, and hopefully you'll get a lot of wisdom out of it and things you can do in your own life.